The issue of regulation, censorship and control of over-the-top streaming services and digital content has continued to generate debates in the creative space. With emerging trends and shift from traditional to digital content consumption, the National Film and Video Censors Board says it has become imperative to come up with policies on the regulation of streaming services and content providers to ensure ethical considerations and standards are met. This is why the board convened a 2-day conference in Lagos for stakeholders in the film industry to drive conversations on Nigeria digital content regulation with a focus on the implications of Nigerian censorship laws and regulatory framework for over-the-top streaming services and content providers in Nigeria.
At the National Film and Video Censors Board, we are concerned about the current trend in the digital film space. And government has found it increasingly challenging to organize that space. As a nation, we are bound by law, and it is expedient for players in the industry to play by a defined code of operations and be subject to the internal laws of the operating geographical space, not through self-regulation, which is currently what is obtainable. There have been favorable arguments about the unsuccessful attempt by government to guard creativity through regulation, while some have advocated for only an incentivized system. There is also need, however, to emphasize that the goal of regulation is not to kill creativity, but to create sanity and encourage healthy competition for socio-economic gains. We are paying close attention to the unstructured form of the digital film ecosystem, which may breed unprofessionalism, imbalance, and deny the government and people of Nigeria a form of give back and contributory development through taxes. This conference is therefore anticipated to shape conversation, address current misconception, and positively impact the growth of the industry and the economy of the nation at large.
The streaming platform, commonly referred to as over-the-top platform, has been under government lens for a while now. Government is vocal about its intention to regulate this industry, which until now had been operating freely without many statutory laws governing them. The responsibility to create a forward-thinking, broad-based policy and a regulatory framework is particularly weighty and necessary.
The film industry is also not spared from the proliferation of unrealistic film content and misleading narratives capable of causing uncontrollable unrest within the polity. The situation calls for more vigilance on the part of government and underscores the need for appropriate agencies of government to be more responsive in strengthening its enforcement and regulatory arms.
Some stakeholders advise exercising caution when forming regulatory policies so as not to over-regulate and stifle creativity.
I think it's important that there's a proper balance, between, regulation and strangulation. And I guess basically what I'm trying to say is, as much as possible, make sure that these companies work within the legal framework of the country in which they are operating, which means that if there are values that we believe in, that these values are not abused or trampled upon. If there are areas that will strangulate youth or practitioners, then, coming from the legal point of view, I would say we do not need strangulation, but we're okay with regulation that is within the ambits of the law and that will promote creativity, that will promote growth, and that will promote, an atmosphere in which businesses can come into this country and also thrive.
The process of law is very clear. It's about the critical stakeholders coming together to take a decision on certain things. If you are not clear with anything, you ask questions. The question, if you are not, you think it's not okay for you, then you raise objection to that, the clause of the law. Then your government or your parliament will look into it. So the process of law cannot be complete if without the involvement of the critical stakeholders. So I can assure you, the government is not doing anything to grant the press or to grant the operators in the industry. They are there to create a living environment.
Other stakeholders present at the conference to drive conversations during the panel sessions were representatives of Netflix, Association of Movie Producers, Nigerian Copyright Commission, among others.